Hello, I am currently programming a window manager / Wayland compositor for the GNU Linux operating system, and today I would like to give a quick demonstration. In case you don't know what a window manager is, it's essentially the program that lets you resize and position the different windows on your computer, right? So, like, if you open a program, the window manager decides where the little window is displayed. Technically, I am creating a Wayland compositor, not a window manager, but for all intents and purposes here in this video, they are the same. Now you might ask yourself, why am I doing this? Clearly these window managers already exist, so why am I creating my own? I will explain that. Many people that are not very technical might believe that the window manager is part of the operating system, which is technically not really true. But of course it's not surprising that people believe this, because the two most common desktop operating systems are Microsoft Windows and Apple OS X, and in both of those operating systems you are forced to use the default window manager that is provided with the operating system. But even though in Windows and in Apple computers you are not allowed to change the window manager, there is technically no reason that you shouldn't be able to do it. And this is also a reason why I dislike these operating systems, because they have so many artificial limitations and don't let you change anything. In reality, the window manager is just a user program like any other, and you should be able to pick whichever one you want. This is also why I'm a big fan of the GNU Linux operating system, because it does not ship with a window manager. It's a very minimal system at its core. It's just a kernel, like the thing that interacts with the hardware, and a few little utilities, and beyond that you get nothing. Of course, many of the popular distributions of Linux like Ubuntu ship with a window manager, with a desktop environment and a few other programs. But this is mostly intended for people who may not be able to install these programs themselves, who don't want to deal with this. But fundamentally, Linux is something very compact, very small, with not a lot of bloat to it. Of course, there are already plenty of window managers and desktop environments available for the Linux system, but I have tried many of them and I'm not completely happy. The philosophies of these window managers range from so-called desktop environments, which try to emulate something like Windows does, where you have a lot of like simple usable features for people that are not very technical, all the way to so-called minimal window managers that really provide the bare minimum and offer a lot more customizability. My personal favorite window manager is the Hyprland window manager. It's very good, it's very customizable, very minimal, but I do have some problems with it. Of course, on a technical level it's great, it's very well made. I don't want to in any way discredit the people that make it. It's a wonderful piece of software, and I use it with great happiness. But ultimately the design philosophy of many of these minimal window managers conflicts with what I want, because they function in a way where you have to customize it yourself. You have to get a bunch of different like little software modules and put them together and spend like a week configuring it to get it to work in a way that you want it. And even though I've spent great amounts of time configuring my Hyprland system, it still doesn't exactly do what I want. It doesn't really offer a kind of cohesive experience. You can tell that, for example, the bar at the top is a different program and the launcher is a different program. So it's a bunch of different programs that all don't really fit together, even if you try your very hardest to configure them in a way where they fit together. So now you may say, if you want a consistent thing, a consistent theme where everything fits together, why don't you just use something like GNOME or KDE, these desktop environments that are made with the intention of having one piece that all fits together? And the answer to that is simply that I do not like the floating window manager paradigm. In case you are unaware, floating window managers are the ones where you can drag around your windows. These are the ones that most people are comfortable with, and most people don't even know that there is an alternative to that. The alternative is a so-called tiling window manager. It functions in a very different way. Now these tiling window managers at the beginning, they're a bit weird to get used to because everything is arranged automatically, but if you use them for a while, you cannot go back anymore. It's just so much more comfortable not having to drag around and resize these stupid windows all the time. It's just like perfectly arranged in the grid. It's wonderful. I'm gonna show it later. So my problem is, I love tiling window managers, but a lot of the tiling window managers just have a design philosophy that I don't really vibe with. I don't really like it. I can respect them. They are very well made, but I don't like this super customizability where then all the pieces don't really fit together because you need to go get a different piece of software to do your bar and different piece of software for your application launcher. So this is why I've started to program my own tiling window manager, my own Wayland Compositor. And here the design philosophy is that everything is part of the same software thing. It's one small binary, one piece of code, and nothing else. It just does one thing, the thing that I wanted to do, and it does that perfectly without a lot of like possibility for change. And the thing is, I also don't really intend this window manager to be usable for anyone else. Or like, I think some people will really like it and some people will hate it, but ultimately I'm making it for me, and I will make it available at some point if it gets good enough. And I'm sure some people will like it, but ultimately the goal of this program is that it exactly fits what I wanted to do and nothing more and nothing less. And it does this in a very small, compact package where it's no code is wasted. Okay, now so I've been yapping for a while. I will take out my laptop and show you what I've been doing. So the first thing you will notice is that my window manager, it's a bit ugly. It doesn't have, beautiful colors, but this is of course temporary. I will make it beautiful at some point, but currently I'm still trying to get the technical aspects to work. I'm not gonna bother making it beautiful if I then have to change something later. So I'll make it beautiful at the point where it actually works. That being said, some of the most important features already work. You can see here, I have a shortcut to open terminals and they tile nicely. They arrange here beautifully on the screen with the arrangement algorithm that I like. So I have it works a bit differently than most tiling window managers. The idea is that it always keeps two balanced columns. But they have the same. If I close a bunch of windows on this side, it will fill them back up. So this is my preferred arrangement. The code is very modular, so you could easily create your own tiling version, but I have this one because it's my window manager and I want it to be like this. But of course, it would be very, very easy to change it to a different system. Boom. Now this is a pretty basic system. This is like just tiling window manager. It's not that exciting. I can also switch desktops. Here you see I'm recording the screen. What also works is, if I can do this, is like full screen. You can maximize and do full screen. That's also important features. I like this, for example. This feature is missing from Hyperland, and it's horrible for me because I got really used to this. I used a different window manager before that had the feature for full screen and also like this maximize function. And Hyperland just doesn't have this. And I love Hyperland, but like just that this is missing from it ruins it almost completely for me, because it's such an important feature, being able to like maximize it and still have the bar at the top. I don't know why not every tiling window manager has this, but for example, I have it and it took me like 3 lines of code to implement this. It's extremely simple, but it's a wonderful feature that I desperately need. And so here you can see why I'm making this, right? Why I'm making my own version, because there are 100 different tiling window managers out there, and everyone has a few features that I love, but everyone is missing one of the features I love that another one has. And so if I want a tiling window manager that has every feature that I need, I just need to make my own. So yeah, desktop switching here the different windows. This is not super special. If you've seen a tiling window manager, you've seen this before. What is important is the bar is part of it. So the bar is not some third-party program. You don't need to install like Waybar or something. It's included. Of course, at the moment it's still ugly, but at some point I'm gonna make it beautiful. Then what's next? Yes, I will show you the launcher. The launcher, oops, that's not the launcher here. The launcher is also included in the binary. It's all the same program. It's all one binary. Very small, very lightweight, where even the launcher is in there. The launcher can, of course, launch different programs. What is another one? Nemo, boom. Here, file manager. Perfect. Zack. It works. I actually had a lot of fun making this launcher. It has an efficient system of searching. It actually when the window manager is first started, it constructs a big tree with all the search terms, and it searches like every time I add a character, it goes through the tree. It doesn't have to search all the results. It just has to go. It is at the point in the tree where everything with a V is, and then if I go with an I, it searches everything with an I that is relevant. At the moment, of course, it doesn't have many interesting features. It's very basic at the point, but I do intend to make it more interesting, and also add a few things that make it that the other tiling window managers do not have. For example, one feature that I really want in a tiling window manager is having like the little Wi-Fi icon at the top where you can choose all the Wi-Fis. Like you can do that in Hyperland, but it's always a bit ugly because the program that starts, that is like responsible for doing the Wi-Fi thing is not the same as the bar program. So that the visual style always clashes a bit, and this has always annoyed me. So I've never done this in my Hyperland configuration, but here I will do it in a way where it's integrated in the program, right? So it fits aesthetically with everything else. It belongs to the same thing. It should function smoothly. So yeah, that's basically all that I have to show, but I will probably make a few more videos when I add more features, and at some point I will of course release it as an open source software that is accessible to everyone. I'm not sure if if a lot of people are gonna want to use it, because I don't think I will add a lot of customizability, because it's kind of intended to be like a system that is like internally consistent, where everything like works in the way that it is intended. But even if I do not add a lot of configuration options, it's a pretty small code base, so it should be easy for anyone that wants to use it to just modify a few lines of code and make it work the way they want to. So yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.